Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I, like many of my colleagues across the House, are in no doubt that immigration and border security are a top concern for many of the people that we represent, and in particular in Weston-super-Mare. They tell me on the doors and by email and social media this is not a conversation that we can shy away from. But I am also very aware that any conversation on immigration and border security is easily inflamed and sensitive to many. As my honourable friend First Staffordshire Moreland said, no silver bullet, no simple answers, and those that peddle them are peddling falsehoods. But we must talk and we must do better at showing people how we are addressing their concerns. Being concerned about immigration and the pressures it places on any society and community is understandable, but so are concerns for all human life and the need to support people who are in need. I believe how we lead on improving border security is a moral duty of this government. And actually, as a Christian, I wrestle with this and how we best achieve a balance between compassion for those who need help and clarity and strength when it comes to defending our security and our values. In my constituency, like many others, there are strong views on the extremes of both sides of the immigration question. They are often very loud and absolutely at odds with the vast majority of my constituents who believe in British values of fairness, tolerance, human rights and the rule of law. They want our systems to work, are proud of Britain's role as a force for good in the world and want us to sort our immigration system. We need this government to deliver on a fairer immigration and border system precisely so people can trust us again to keep them safe, so they don't feel the need to turn to extremes because they feel there's no alternative. People are worried, they want action, and it is now this government's responsibility to address these issues in a way that is firm, but also compassionate and just, in line with our values. The growing number of crossings, particularly in small boats, is not just a statistic, it is a crisis that demands urgent action. The tragic loss of life, with at least 78 people dying last year alone, should horrify us all, and we cannot allow this to continue. It is clear that our action to secure our borders and smash the gangs that are profiting off this evil trade in human desperation is both necessary and urgently needed. The reality is that immigration, both legal and illegal, is a huge national and local concern, fed in many ways by decades of underinvestment in our communities, in skills, in infrastructure, leaving us reliant on importing the skills we should have been developing here for our communities in places like Weston-super-Mare. I lay no blame at the door of immigrants who came here for a better life and contribute so much to our country. I blame successive governments for taking the easy route, or the impossible route, in the case of the Rwanda scheme, for leaving us in a situation where public trust is through the floor. People can no longer be left behind because it's easier and cheaper to import talent and labour. I see the impact of poverty and systemic underinvestment daily, and I and the people of my constituency won't stand for it. That's why I am pleased that this government is taking concrete action through the introduction of this bill, rather than following the example of previous governments and continuing to use border security as a political football. We must find sustainable, meaningful, impactful solutions now. We have run out of road and public patience. The bill alone will not fix the deep distrust in our society. It will take years of demonstrable change and investment across housing, healthcare, community safety and jobs to show things can be better. But this bill will start that process by strengthening our response to border security threats, granting stronger law enforcement powers that allow us to directly go after organised immigration crime and disrupting the criminal networks that profit from human misery. It will properly equip those teams on the ground dealing with this problem, enabling them to act faster and go further to protect our borders and our national security. This action is long overdue, and I hope will be warmly welcomed by people in my constituency and across the country.